all related to the highway I-66. Mr. Burris, would you go first?
Well, I lived in this neighborhood for 7 years, and the traffic was bad enough back then, and it's really bad now. We have, what, 6 schools, including Washington and Lee, in the I-66 corridor. Washington and Lee's right next to I-66. The traffic, we cannot afford to widen I-66 from a pollution danger to our kids to begin with. Regarding noise, we should not widen I-66 because that would just make more noise on the lane or lanes that we take to widen the 2 shoulders. So if we go from 4 to 6 lanes, it's just going to increase the noise by 50%. So I absolutely oppose widening I-66. We have alternatives. If Congress wants to appropriate the funds to put VRE out to Gainesville and beyond, get bus rapid transit, get ride sharing, telecommuting, and go for traffic mitigation instead of putting more cars on more lanes till we're gridlocked again, and there's total congestion in 10 years on the 5 or 6 lanes if I-66 is widened. What kind of solution is that? The county board and Chris Zimmerman say that's what's going to happen in 10 years if I-66 is widened. We'll go from a 4-lane parking lot to a 6-lane parking lot. As far as the noise right now, there are way too many cars with mufflers that increase the efficiency of the engine, but put out a lot of noise from the muffler, which is supposed to quiet noise. And we should be looking at the sources of noise from these vehicles. We do a tremendous amount of highway R&D, and we should be looking at the noise from tires on the pavement. So there are things we can do, and Congress should be doing them, and that's why I'm running.
I think it's going to be order.
Alphabetically. Well, I was working politically for Joe Fisher back in the early 70s when this issue came forward and the decision was made that there would be compromise on I-66. It could go through Arlington, but it would not be widened. That was a written agreement. Secretary Bill Coleman was the U.S. Secretary of Transportation. That has been my position all along. If it had not been my position, I-66 would have been widened because my 2 colleagues wanted widened, as do the 2 U.S. senators. The cost of I-66 is a lot more than the federal government has made available. But if the governor, in concert with the state delegation, choose to widen one westbound lane of I-66, that is their prerogative, and I will support that. I've been consistent throughout. I think this is an issue that needs to be decided by the local government, by the state representatives, by the governor. Every time that the governor and those representatives, state representatives within my congressional district have chosen to move forward with a transportation construction project, I have supported them, as I will continue to. We have put together $1.5 billion if the locality, and particularly the state, can come up with the matching money for the metro system, all the way out through Tyson's and out the Dulles Toll Road. That will relieve much of the traffic that now comes in through 66, comes in and goes out. I've always believed that public transit was the preferable alternative to putting blacktop into neighborhoods that are already lacking lacking for space. So, so that's my position on I-66.
Well, you've heard a little bit about my position. I'd like to clarify my position on I-66. Again, the deal was made that I-66 would not be widened, and while that's being debated, discussed, or whatever, there's an opportunity to have just a common sense compromise. That is to take the existing road, not widen it, not change it, but just to add a lane. What you will lose in some places, you would lose a shoulder, add a lane westbound. So what we're trying to do is get the traffic out of Arlington. That's the point, is we don't want it here. That's what's adding to the pollution. Cars sitting in 2 lanes idling versus a 3rd lane getting the cars out of here, then they won't be sitting there idling. So to me, it seems like it will reduce the noise and it will reduce the pollution. So it's a quick, common sense, inexpensive way of dealing with, a problem with I-66. In addition, there's other transportation issues that need to be addressed. Some are longer term, some are shorter term. Some of the short term, very simple things we can do to reduce congestion and traffic right here is to encourage telecommuting. Now, certainly Congress has the authority, it's oversight authority, to mandate a certain amount of telecommuting from federal agencies. The federal agencies just need to be prodded a little bit long. They need to say, hey, there's a certain number of your employees should be telecommuting. That takes people off the road for good. I mean, no pollution, no traffic, no noise. We can also provide incentives for private companies to also telecommute. That's one of the ways to deal with it. It doesn't cost anything. You can deal with it right here, right now, right here in DC. People going into DC. Another issue, obviously, is Metro Rail. Extending it out to Dulles, extending the Blue Line down to Fort Belvoir, where a lot of jobs are going. Getting people riding Metro instead of on the roads. That's another common sense kind of thing. That's a much longer term kind of project. So in the short run, we can do some things. Add a westbound lane to I-66 without widening it and encouraging telecommuting in the short run, and then start looking at the long term, having a comprehensive plan for dealing with transportation, which will reduce pollution and noise. So thank you.